Hey, congratulations for making it to the second video. To me as well, I suppose. Um, I should have probably opened with this, but, after we've talked about our two agreements, which I should state, there is some real danger involved with this. See, back in 1960, there was a report that came out called the Brookings Report, where they talked about how if UFOs were real and you talked about it, everybody would lose their collective goo. Like people would just go nuts. No one would go to work anymore. And this shock, this surprise, is called ontological shock. It's when, oh hey, you know what? What if we found out that time traveling Nazis really lived on the moon? That would kind of make people not go to work the next day. Not to mention the concept of like, hey, there's alien life. All the people of the book might get pretty upset with that kind of thing. So, you know, the safety aspect of this is you can't really talk about this. Now, there's a lot of YouTube channels out there that'll tell you all kinds of stuff and rehash everything and, encourage you to look into these rabbit holes, which that's fine, but we're not rabbits. We want to kind of follow this thing to the end. For example, if you were like driving down the road and a dragon ran across the road, it wouldn't matter what kind of evidence or secondary evidence you showed anyone. You could show people dragon tracks. You could show people a half-eaten cow. You could see a house that's on fire surrounded by dragon tracks. You could even have video of that same dragon running across the road. And people will just kind of have this strange mind veil if they're not ready for it. And they won't see it. They won't admit it. Buildings could fall down for no reason. There could be all kinds of scientists who say things that, go against what's an acceptable narrative. And the reason why is because people will believe what they want to believe, and they call that biased. But there is a sort of self-protective mechanism there. Like, if you start believing that, things can come through interdimensional portals and you don't have any parameter for that, you're going to wind up spackling all the corners of your room and drawing crosses on everything. Not a good deal, and makes it hard to pick up chicks. So you want to kind of ease into this stuff, take your time, do your homework, look at things, and make your own decisions. Now, one of the things we want to do on this channel is not just rehash everything everybody else has done. We want to kind of present new evidence, because it seems to me that this is pretty much everywhere. The supernatural, or which is actually just natural, but we just don't believe in it. So therefore it comes across as kind of bizarre. Like when I was a kid, there was a really prolific serial killer named Clifford Olson, and they were trying to find the bodies of the people that he murdered. Terrible, terrible guy. And they used a psychic to locate some of the bodies. And I remember reading about this as a kid, and I was like, oh, psychics are real. And I grew up in British Columbia, which is the Pacific Northwest, and almost everyone who's in the bush here knows that, like, Sasquatch or Bigfoot is a real thing. Everyone knows somebody who's either seen one or had some kind of an experience. And yet, the deeper into the cities you go, the tighter that sphere gets, where people don't believe in anything, because anything that pushes the envelope is very scary. And the unknown is really scary. I think one of the things that helped me understand it was being a diver. If you haven't gotten into scuba diving, I totally recommend it. But one of the things you learn very quickly as a scuba diver is that you are not really in control here. You're kind of a guest in that world, and you're only going to be there for about 30, 35 minutes with a standard tank of air. So you have to be sort of very accepting of the fact that you're not in control. And that's hard for people. And it even harder if you go like night diving, or you expose yourself, and the fear that possesses some people when they do that, and everyone, but you have to inoculate yourself to it slowly. You can't just, go watch Jaws and then jump into the water at night with no lights on and be like, woohoo, I'm going to hang out on the bottom. Not really a good plan. And, safety first, don't, make sure. But in the spirit of safety first, the message here is don't talk about this stuff. There's conventions for reasons. I mean, there's people that you can meet, people people who, give you the nodding wink. But in our world where we are right now, we seek validation, and he who validates is the one who gets approved. So you could know something is true, but it's useless, and then somebody else acknowledges that you know it. It needs to be validated. And we come up with this idea of his truth, her truth. There is only one truth. Okay, there's facts. And the facts are that some very strange things are happening around the world. And as we delve into this, I deeply encourage you to be careful. Don't talk about it. Don't even talk about it like to people at work or even family members, because they'll ask you questions. Oh, do you believe in Bigfoot? And you're like, well, I'd like to believe in Bigfoot, which isn't a lie. And if you do believe in Bigfoot, you'd say, well, I've never met one. And if you have met one, you can be like, well, I've never sat down with one for coffee. And if you have sat down with one for coffee, you should start a YouTube channel. But in all honesty, like, there's so many things that if you just look with open eyes, you'll see that it's everywhere. And you don't have to live in the Pacific Northwest. In fact, moving forwards, all of us as individuals, me just talking to you, and this is weird for me. This is weird for me to be speaking to, well, I can't think of it as a huge crowd. So I'm just talking to you, specifically you who's watching this video, with real concern. So don't do what I did. Okay? Do not do what I did. You can be right, and you could be like absolutely sure about what's going to happen next, and you could scream to the sky about it with as many explosives as you could fit in there. And trust me, nobody listens. Okay? So you have to be very, very careful. And, have fun with it. Keep a sense of humor. That's far more powerful than you may think.